Today we're going to talk about how to prepare for your 4-H demonstrations that you'll give in your February 4-H club meeting. First, you may start off by asking, what is a 4-H demonstration? Well, a demonstration is really just an advanced type of show and tell, which you've probably done in school before. It's also a talk that shows or teaches one step at a time how to do something while demonstrating how to do it. Next, you may ask, what can I give a demonstration on? You can give a demonstration on anything related to one of the projects that you see on the list. And make sure that it's something that you're really interested in. For instance, if you like horses, you can give a demonstration on how to groom your horse. Or if you like to sew or knit, you may choose clothing and textiles or line and design. Next, let's take a look at our rules. You must have at least one poster to list your materials and steps. Posters must also be able to be read from across the room and may include photos. I suggest having 4 posters, one for your title, one to list your materials, one to show us your steps, and another one for conclusion, for your final thoughts you want to leave your audience with. You must also have some props such as ingredients, materials, and other things so that you can visually demonstrate those steps to us. Some important things to remember is that you should not bring any live pets, firearms, knives, or anything that's prohibited by your school. You'll also need to explain and show your steps and always show a final product. And remember, you cannot just give a speech on a subject without visual aids, because that's just a speech and not a demonstration. Next, let's talk about preparing for your demonstration. The first step is to plan for your demonstration. As we said before, select a topic that can be easily broken down into illustrated steps, and make sure that it's something that you enjoy. Some examples may be how to bake cookies, how to build a birdhouse, how to shoot a free throw, or how to paint with crayons. You'll need to gather all your materials or ingredients needed. And next, you'll need to start designing and making your posters. Step 2 is preparation. Just like a speech, a demonstration has 3 main parts. First, of course, is your introduction. Your introduction should capture your audience's attention with a quote, challenge, or other interesting remarks, and then explain what your demonstration will be about. Be original, but be brief. The next part, of course, is your body. Present a step-by-step procedure, explaining key points as you go along. Show and tell while you are working. You should also include a start-to-finish procedure, for example, how to make an apron. Finally, in your conclusion, you should end your demonstration, including summing up the main points of your demonstration. It could be showing the finished product, or it could be answering a question that you asked in your introduction. Your conclusion should have an interesting ending, such as showing a catchy, summarizing poster. Step 3 in preparing for your demonstration is working on your presentation. Number 1, always remember, just like in your speech, to be enthusiastic. Think of your demonstration sort of like a cooking show or an infomercial. Number 2, start with the opening, then get right into the action, and always keep things moving. So for instance, when you're giving your demonstration and actually showing us how to do something, make sure that you're talking while you're showing us how to do that, and don't leave any periods of time where you're not talking. Number 3, know your subject and explain what you're doing while you're doing it. Number 4, always practice in advance, of course, so that you can do a good job. Number 5, be sure your audience can see what you're doing at all times. So if you're putting something together on the table, you'll want to take a short break to pick it up and show it to everybody so they can see what you're doing. Or if you're drawing, you might use the overhead projector to project that on the board. Number 6, of course, always speak loud and clear and slow enough that everybody can understand you. Number 7, stay within your allotted time. And number 8, be sure to always show a final or finished product. Our time limits for our demonstrations for 4th grade is 2 minutes in the classroom, and for 5th grade is 3 minutes. Setup and cleanup time do not count in your time limit. Next, let's talk about practicing for your demonstration. Practice your demonstration several times before you present it in your club meeting. That way you'll be more confident when you come in to the classroom. Make sure to time yourself when practicing your demonstration so that you know that it's the correct length. You may also choose to wear a costume or clothing that matches your topic. For example, a jersey for a sports demonstration, or maybe an apron for a cooking one, but that's not required. It is also okay to utilize note cards during your demonstration to ensure that you remember all your important steps. Next, let's look at an example topic of a demonstration and some of the things we'll need to gather to prepare for our demonstration. The title of our example is How to Make Cookies. For materials, you'll need to gather pre-measured bags of flour, sugar, maybe a plastic egg, a large mixing bowl, and some mixing spoons. Remember, for a cooking demonstration, you don't want to actually mix all the ingredients because it'll take longer than 2 to 3 minutes to do that. So you'll need to pretend, but you'll need to also have all the needed materials available to show your audience what they'll need to make cookies. For posters, of course, you'll need a title poster with how to make cookies, materials poster with all the ingredients and all the cooking instruments that you'll need. Steps poster may be the recipe, and your conclusion poster will be thoughts that you'll want your audience to remember. And what to do: using pre-measured ingredients, show your steps and pretend to mix your cookies, and always have a final product to show your class. You may also want to have some cookies to share with your class after everybody's done with their demonstrations for the day. Next, let's talk about judging. When judging your demonstrations, we look for several different things. First is appearance. By appearance, we don't only mean what you're wearing, but how you present yourself when you're giving your demonstrations. Remember to always stand nice and straight, stand behind your posters and your ingredients. Remember to look up at your audience and to not leave any long periods of time where you're not talking. Also remember to project your voice loud and clear to where we can understand you. We also want your explanation to be clear and thorough so that there's not anything left out where we can't understand what you're talking about. We also may have you answer some questions to see how knowledgeable you are about your topic. Your posters will also be taken into consideration on how neat and clean and well prepared they were. And also we'll grade you on if you had the appropriate prompts and materials you needed to present your demonstration. Next, let's talk about awards. All our demonstrations will be judged on the county level next month in the classroom. We will then select our first and second place winners from each of the categories that you see on your handout. Those first and second place winners will go on to compete at the Area 2 Project Fair at Tennessee Tech in April. Finally, let's look at some things to remember. Remember to pick a topic that you know a lot about and that can be broken down into steps. Make sure and gather all your materials needed before you start working on your presentation. When creating your posters, remember to make sure that you have a title, a materials, steps, and a conclusion poster, or make sure that all those topics are covered in the number of posters you have. Also make sure your demonstration tells or answers how to do or make something or how something works. And finally, and most important, make sure and have fun and relax. Now let's look at an example demonstration in the poultry project.
Why would you want to wash a chicken? The reason why you would want to wash a chicken is because you as a poultry owner want to present your best birds, not your dirty, yucky birds. Here's a tip. Do not wash your bird the day of the show. Wash them at least 3 days before the show so the feathers have a chance to regain their natural oils. Now, the materials you need are mild soap, not harsh, a toothbrush, 3 buckets of warm water, some Vaseline, a towel, and if you want, but you don't need it, a hairdryer. Now, let's get started. Check with your elbow to make sure the water is warm, not hot. Then take the soap and put it into the first bucket. This would be your washing bucket. The other 2 would be for rinsing. Now, secure the chicken's wings with your hands so they will not flap while you're washing them. Now slowly lower the chicken into the soapy water and make sure you wash its sides, its head, neck, and chest. It Dip your fingers into the water and wash as cones and water waddles. And if there's dirt that is stuck, use your toothbrush and scrub it off. Now wash the chicken's feet and legs where dirt gets stuck, and also wash the vent area. Now that your chicken is washed, it is time for rinsing. Make sure you get the chicken all wet and get off all the soap. Make sure you do the sides, chest, neck, and head. Now, go to the second rinsing bucket and get off all the soap that might be remaining in the feathers. Now that your chicken is washed, it is time to dry your chicken. Wrap your chicken up in a towel and get off all the water. Now, if it's cold outside and you feel like you need to use the hair dryer, make sure you use it on low and blow in the direction of the feathers. Now that your chicken is dry, take some Vaseline, put it on your fingers, rub the cone and waddles and the feet and legs to make them shine. Now you have a clean chicken ready for show. Thank you.